Hey guys, it's Diana. Yes, I'm early. I'm setting up still, so I figure I'm doing drooling on myself. I figure while I'm setting up, you can just kind of chime in. I'm going to put you up on the thing here, my iPad. I see Barb got her stuff. I always just clean out a lot of my papers. I have a lot of them. And, you know, I got a lot of brushes. So I don't really need to buy anything for it. I found some more stuff. I found a set of those wood ornaments. I also found some unicorn, snowman, and Santa Claus. So you guys have been getting those too. I put so much paper in there, I didn't want to add any more of the wood things. So, but those are for you guys all won the you guys all won that am I in the right group? You know, in the Happy Mail. Am I in the right group? Private group, yeah. Hey, Harrison. So, I just went ahead and added some more stuff. But usually, I'll put in just a few things for, like, Happy Mail. But, you know, I got scent of the year, clean out stuff. So, I did a nice size package for everybody. All right, let's see what else. I got to put some paint up here. Here's the guy we're doing today. I'm going to do him more like a boy one. I got some nice colors over here. You know, sometimes when you're not sure and you got your bottles of color or whatever, you can just start putting them together. And I think these three look good together. So it's like Ocean Blue from Deco Art, Sour Apple, and this Bahama Blue, which I'm in love with. So those three colors. But you can do what you want. And then I'm going to do the hearts probably in pink. And I'm going to do the outside. I might sponge the outside on instead. Maybe blue and white. And I got all this leftover copy paper. So I'm going to be making, you know, like ephemera, I'm going to be making extra paper that we can cut up and use on our ATCs. So, you know, I'm using up my leftover paint. So it's going to be a twofer. So here is this guy. Put him on watercolor paper. That's what we're doing today. And if you guys have never done a tracer, you take graphite or ink paper. You put it down on your canvas or your heavy-duty watercolor or your whatever paper you're going to use, even wood. You just put this down. Now you got to download this, get it onto your copier, and you can use it over and over again. It's in this group. I put it up in the featured area, and it's in the scroll. So either or, just get it and do it. If you do it, make sure you share it so we can see what you did. And gives everybody a little encouragement and gives everybody ideas of what they can do. And I encourage you not to do exactly like mine. The one we did yesterday, I added, what do you call it? Last week, was it last week? Thursday, we added bugs. I can't think of it. I never can think of that one. I can think of butterflies. What do they call them? I gotta look at them. My OCD is acting up. Not OCD. My ADHD or whatever I am. I don't know. I didn't think I would. I knew I had issues. Like I didn't read till I was in 5th grade. If you have a high IQ, I guess it's normal. Turns out two of my daughters have it too. Yeah, those things. I can't think of the name. Anyways. So, I'm going to start off first with, I usually, sometimes, I haven't lately because I've been busy, but I'm going to read out of this book called Art Matters by Neil Gaiman. And last week we had read the first part. It's kind of funny about, you know, it talks about reasons to paint or write. I think he was kind of, it looks like he was like he did some of the illustration. No, yeah, he did. No, he didn't. Somebody else did the illustrations. But a lot of people that are artistic don't necessarily stick to their art. Like, I am really an oil painter for 20 years. I've been painting for like 40. I hate to say how long because how old I am, but I don't really care. But so sometimes, like, even like a lot of scientists are very artistic. If you guys have ever read any really famous books from Arthur C. Clarke, if I can remember that right, or like, you know, any of those guys, Orson Welles. They also painted or drew or did many other things. So don't be thinking that it's just, you know, a one-sided thing. So, and I have written a few things myself. Nothing I would really keep. But this guy's obviously a writer. So I like it because it's all short stuff. It talks about making good art. And he has some funny quotes, which we went over last week. And the next one is reasons to paint or not to paint. The moment that you feel like that just possibly you're walking down the street naked, exposing too much of your heart and your mind and what exists on the inside, showing too much of yourself, that's the moment you may be starting to get it right. And it's kind of the truth. Like, don't worry about it so much. Just paint or create, craft, whatever you do. The things I've done that worked the best were the things I was the least certain about. The stories where I was sure that would be either... The things that I've done that worked the best were the things I was the least certain about. The stories where I was sure they would either work or more likely be the kinds of embarrassing failures people would gather together and talk about until the end of time. I've got some atrocious paintings I've done over the years, and what's funny is, that's why you keep your old work. You go back and you look at them and say, oh, they're horrible, but then sometimes they're not. It's in my head. So, and nobody's going to talk about them to the end of time because I'm going to paint over them. That's I save down. I do palette knife mostly, so I do it over the top. They always had that in common. You thought they were going to be embarrassing failures, or, you know, people would talk about it. They always had that in common. Looking back at them, people explain why they were inevitable successes while I was doing them. I had no idea. I still don't. And where would be the fun in making something you knew was going to work? It's true. Just keep painting, creating. And sometimes the things that I did really didn't work. There's things I think are quite lovely, and turns out they're not so great. I thought they were great, though. Hold on, I'm going to get you guys up on the screen here. Am I on live? I got to be on live. There I am. Let me see if I can see you guys' comments. That in common. Looking back at them, people I gotta get it up. Hold on, guys. Am I on live? I gotta be on live. You guys know this thing is like seconds and seconds off here. It's not buffering today, anyways. Come on, come on. Back over here. I'm gonna comment. Sometimes when I comment, things start to happen. Not buffering. Okay, so it's sometimes when I think sometimes the things I did really didn't work. There are stories of mine that have never been reprinted, and some of them never even left the house. But I learned as much from them as I did from the other things that worked. It's true with most things, including painting. I will pass on some secret freelancer knowledge. Secret knowledge is always good. And is useful for anyone who ever plans to create art for other people, to enter a freelance world of any kind. I've learned in the comics, but it applies to other fields. It's this. People get hired because somehow they get hired. In my case, I did something which these days would be easy to check and would get me into trouble. And when I started, hey, Joe Ellen, and when I started out in the pre-internet days, seemed like a sensible career strategy. When I asked my editors who I worked for, I lied. I listed a handful of magazines. That should have sounded likely, and I sounded confident, and I got jobs. And then made it a point of honor to have written for each of those magazines I listed to get the first job. So they hadn't actually lied. I just had been chronology challenged. You get work, however, you get work. You get it when you get it. I have in the past in my paintings kind of exaggerated on a few things myself, but it got me into places I needed to be. Because, you know, when you're first starting out, you know, just like, don't tell nobody. And when I had a salon, you know, I had hairdressers, and sometimes that would be like, they don't need to know that you got a hairdresser school yesterday. Okay, there. Tell them 1 year. And we wouldn't give them anything hard, and we keep it simple. Most of the time, they're pretty talented. I mean, if you make it through the course, chances are you're pretty talented. People keep working in a freelance world, and more of today's world is freelance because their work is good. 2, because they are easy to get along with. That's a big thing. 3, because they deliver the work on time. That's a big thing. And you don't even need all 3. 2 out of 3 is fine. That's funny. But, you know, that's true because sometimes, like, I would rather hire somebody out of school. They don't come with any bad habits, you know. And if they did the work and they enjoyed it or they had a passion for it and they get along with people. I know some of the worst hairdressers I've ever known and artists. But you know what they had? They had an outgoing personality. They could talk you into eating leather, okay? So some people are like that. They're really gifted in that area. And if you guys ever got really serious or you know somebody wants to get serious about art, a lot of his promotion, especially now with the internet, and there's so many people painting and stuff. I told you the other day that I was really concerned about doing this online, and there's so many other artists. Well, it turns out in this one business class I took, the guy says, yeah, but there's no Diana. So, you know, you follow artists and people that you like. You know, that's how it works. All right, so, okay, a couple people up here. Yeah, good afternoon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got my first little content check. Anybody that's watching this, you know, a couple of years ago, Facebook was paying reels out like crazy people. Like 2 years ago, I got some nice little checks. I know people got really big checks. I don't have that many people. And anyways, they stopped all that, so it was kind of disappointing. But, you know, you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, different things I do. But now they come back with this content thing. And for every comment, it's like a penny. It's not much. It's coffee money. Every like and share and any interaction, and, you know, I have 2 groups in a page. So actually, I'm going to be reopening another page because I'm doing some other stuff now. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Joelle started this whole thing. ABCD. Oh, what is that? Watch, spot, run. There it goes. Anyway, so it's what we're doing today. Those were the stupidest books. Hope they don't bring them back. Here it is again. I'm going to do like some kind of boyish, not really, shouldn't say boyish, but like blues and stuff to make it look kind of like a boy. So, and I've been doing a bunch of these because obviously we got gnomes coming up. You guys, I did a survey. You guys want to do gnomes. So that's what we're going to do, a lot of gnomes. So guess what I did all morning? I got a whole notebook full of gnomes. So I got this game we're going to play next month too. You're going to love it. I'll post a tracer, and it's a big gnome hat, and everybody's got to do it different, and the best one wins. So, and we got our usual challenge too, which I put on there. Where's that book? We got our usual stuff too. So we'll be pulling names for the challenges next Saturday. For the Happy Mail. It was all snowmen this month. I will put time and dates for different classes that I'm going to be doing and where I'm doing them in here, just so everybody can keep track. And I'm posting a calendar in my other group, not for this group. And let's see. And as you know, next month is going to be, ATC is going to be Hearts and Gnomes, which is artist trading cards. If anybody doesn't know what that is, they're little cards that we design and we mail them back and forth. I found an old one of Barb's. They're actually playing cards. I put these little things like this. Hers are not like mine. In the guide section at the top, and then you can do any multimedia, painting, whatever you want, affirmations. And then for next month, it's going to be hearts for the whole month. So I think that's everything. Anyways, let's get this painting started. It'll probably drive people crazy. I'm going to turn this around. This up. You got enough light up here today. Okay, let me put, yeah, let me turn this around. Oh, wrong way, hold on. I do this all the time. But I don't want that link. I don't need the link. We're in where I need to be. Done. Alright. There you go. I keep hitting the wrong buttons, guys. Sorry. Alright, here we go. So I picked out like some blues. This Bahama blue. You don't have to use my colors. And ocean blue. And then this green. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of dab the background on first. And I'm going to take leftover paint today and I'm going to kind of show you what I do with leftover paint and make myself some more paper for different projects. Mixed media. So let's see. What do I got to dab with? You can do a paper towel. You could do a stippling brush. You can do anything you got. I have a sponge here. A house sponge somewhere all dried out. Here it is. Pathetic looking little thing, isn't it? It's one of those ones with the green back. But I'm just going to wet it a little bit. Just so to make it a little more porous. It's really dried out. And then I'm going to do this blue. Ocean blue for the background. Now, you guys can do these on anything you want. I got this on heavy duty watercolor. I think it's 300 pound. That doesn't sound right to me. Let me go look. Usually it's 130 to 180. I transferred this onto the heavy duty watercolor paper. Let me see what this is. This is not really high quality paper, but this is pretty heavy paper. So this is frameable. I like this sometimes when you want to do, you don't want to get into framing, and framing is a hard thing. So I usually send somebody, or I just look around. I have certain sizes I use, they know how to frame them, but they're expensive. But I get a lot of mine in secondhand store. I got my wallet in my purse measured out for a 16 by 20 or 18 by 48 or different sizes, and I have it in the back of the foot. And I'm sitting there in the secondhand store and I get some of the best frames. They're beautiful, but I'm not paying, big money. They're better if you can frame them, but it's not all the time. Well, it says 300, but I don't think that's really the weight. To me, it feels like 180 pound. It's pretty heavy, so you can you can cut it and it'll go right into a regular frame. It's nice when you use this paper too, because if say you got a little frame like this big, but you ain't got nothing to fit it, and you want to do even needlepoint or something, you can just cut it out to this size and use that, paint it, put it in there. All right, so I'm going to sponge on that blue. I wet my little sponge here. Don't want it too wet because this won't buckle. It's kind of heavy, but it could. So you gotta be careful you don't get carried away with the water. And this is acrylic paint. It's not watercolor, so you don't want to get carried away with that. All right, so I kind of do some blue and some white, and I'm just gonna kind of make like a sky here. I'm doing it this way first because I can go over into this and I can go back the other way and I can fix it. So, and don't do nothing fancy, just get it on there. Just give it a little something different to play with. It's good to do different techniques. I like the look of this sponge look anyways. I remember my daughter, they shared a room, my two oldest, and it was an old house, and I didn't want to replace all the, what do they call that? It was lapboard or whatever they call it. And it was like a mess. So I had them on one wall. Well, we sponged the whole room first. And then on the one wall, I had them do hand puts. I put their hands and their feet in there, and they would put their legs up in the wall. They loved it. So then the other wall I took pictures. It was a signature wall. And, I knew someday we did, pull all that out. Well, we never did. We ended up moving, but they loved it. So over the years, over like a 10-year period, every friend that they had that came in the house had to sign the wall and make a little note, little stupid things. I'm sure there's things in there I didn't want to know what they said, but you know, that was something for them. So it was really cool though. I think that's when my stenciling love started. I used to stencil everything. It was a style. Then I did tremploy, if you know what that is. Like you make something that looks like, say, make it look real on a wall. Like, you know, I did like these big Chinese pots and different things. So you could buy stencils for it, but I bought a book and then I just copied from the book because I could. And I was cheap. Starving artist, you know. So I guess my girlfriend had a stencil. I used one of them. It was okay. I liked mine better. All right, so isn't that kind of cool looking, right? You can still put stuff behind there if you want to add something. It's not like it's, once it's, you know, it's acrylic paint. Once it's dry, it's a little darker here. That's kind of cool. Once it's dark, once it's dry, it's wonderful. You can add anything you want. Just something different. Like I said, you could use a paper towel. If you use a paper towel, wad it up and make lots of little nooks and crannies so you can get all this little texture. Or you could use, if you have a stenciling brush for stencils, a stippler, you could use that. You could dry brush it, if you guys know what that is. You can do that. This is great for galaxies too. There's different paintings that I do like the Milky Way, and this is how I usually do it. Actually, it's right over there. She's been cleaning up my stuff. I just seen it. I was like, oh, there it is. My granddaughter cleaned up my corner. It was a mess. Then she took through her paintings for her house. She got a new apartment. Hey, Cindy, I seen you sneak in here. How you doing? Does Spot jump or does he run? I didn't know Spot could jump. So funny. How you doing, Cindy? How's that new baby? How's your new baby? All right, so I'm gonna do, I think, a green hat. Yeah, I'm gonna do a green hat. I got this sour apple. I'm starving. I got stuff on the stove ready. I had leftover pork chops and potatoes last night, so I was craving pork chops this week. So I cut up the rest of one and the potatoes. I'm gonna make me some potato fajitas. Yeah, I won't be able to eat all of it, but I save stuff for my daughter when she comes. Right, so you need like a, you know, usually say a big flat brush, but probably a medium, and this one's more of an angle flat. It's like straight, see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take the green, I'm gonna come right in here, and I'm gonna start putting my paint on. I'm gonna follow. It's not necessary, but it comes out better if you can follow the direction of the subject. Like, you know, if it was a hat, you would kind of come in like this. Round it out a little bit. And you could take a small brush. I'm gonna actually, what I'm gonna do, instead of using a small brush, I'm gonna use a green Posca pen on this, and probably different colors down here. So we can play with the different pens. Or you can use a small liner. But if you're not feeling up to that and you got some of those Posca pens, go for it. So we will, really my group is open, but I'm gonna run a sale on my membership again if you people want to get in. But I'm gonna do the Van Gogh class in there so you guys can go look around my more advanced stuff. But we've been, as of last year I went and looked, we've been doing this type of stuff. Well, things that, this is a PPHQ design, but my stuff is, everything that's in there is my stuff, my designs. So, you know, and a little more advanced stuff. There's a lot in there. In fact, I put one thing out this morning and I was like, I don't know. So now I'm like kind of rethinking that whole group, you know. But you know, I want to do more of the inspirational stuff too, so yeah, there's a lot you can do with art, you know. All right, so we got the green on. We're going to need some highlights on that too, but we're going to wait and let it dry. Now on the bottom, I'm going to do this Bahama blue. You know, I'm eggs in all these baskets, and sometimes I don't know what I want to do first or if I'm going to do it at all. I want to do another thing in the jelly plate. I just took this short roll jelly plate class, and I seen where I told you could do images, jelly printing. So I'm kind of excited about that. So I want to play around with it before I put it out there, you know. That was a fun class, though. And I think some of you guys got some of the paper from that in your Happy Mail. So I'm making him a little more like a boy, I guess. I can cover some of this up because I can kind of see what's here. So you can turn this when it's flat and work around stuff. Make his little arms kind of blue too. It's a fun little paintings. We do a lot of gnomes. You guys like gnomes. I'm doing a couple paintings too for the other group, and one of them is going to be a Mr. Duncan D gnome. He's a Dunkin' Donuts gnome. Can't use it. It's be copied, but it's kind of just got just a cup of coffee and a donut. Where is it? It's not really done, but I'm going to make it bigger. If you guys see, I don't think you guys seen this yet. So I told you I was doing gnomes all day. I don't know where it is right now. I'll post it on here, but here it is. I haven't painted it yet, and I'm probably going to enlarge it. Isn't that cute? That's going to be for my membership people. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And it's going to be on a canvas. Be cute for like an entrance hall or something. All right, so now I want to do, I'll overlap there, it's okay. I kind of want to, let's get a middle-sized brush, medium round, with a nice point on it. This is a Deco Art one. I think I told you guys that already. I can't see. It's a round. It's a Deco Art. Now I can't see the size. But Deco Art makes some nice brushes too, guys. Great, because these, you know, that's the same company as the paint I use, but you can use any kind you want. I also use the Apple Barrel, which is like at Walmart's and stuff, but paint's all right. It's like, they also make a high-end paint. I can't think of the name of it right now. But this is kind of like their generic sister. So, and these are, you know, these are just kind of middle of the road paints, but they're good because I know artists that are painting with the fancy stuff and they throw in some of this stuff too. So now I've been doing it. I never used to do that. I was strictly Winsor Newton. That's all I use. Now I'm a big Arteza fan for my, I like thicker paints. Actually, Deco Art just, I don't know if they just continue, but they just came out. I'm using white. Small brush to make a small strokes for the beard. They came out with a thicker paint, and it should be here like tomorrow or something. Like in a, you know, a bowl thing. So I'm kind of excited about that. But you know, I like my palette knife. You gotta have thick paint, or you gotta, you know, use that stuff, the thickener. So, you know, I don't think these are any better or worse than any other company, these craft paints. And they're versatile too, because, you know, you can't necessarily do that with some of the fancier paints. It gets expensive, number one. But if you want to do a piece of wood or something, you can, this would be a better thing to use. They're made for that, you know. Toll painters use it, you know. So people say, well, I like the other kind. And some people can't use the thicker ones. They're not used to it. So, I mean, they all make, I usually use, what the heck is it? Liquitex, and their paint is pretty thick, and they make a heavy body. Use that a lot. It's one of my favorites. But, you know, that's not something I would use on this. It'd be big pieces sticking out. But you could. if you knew what you were doing. Not a bad thing. So I like playing with the paint too. My granddaughter, we were talking about, yelling at her, she's got too much yarn. I gave her one of my bins, big bins. And she's like, well, you got too much paint. Arguing over who's got too much of what art stuff, right? So funny. All right, so now we want to do some kind of pink. See how I did like strokes? You know, I'm going to put a little color over that. Not sure what I'm going to do yet, but... All right, so I'm going to take and make some kind of a pink. So you could take any kind of pink, really. Let's kind of make more of a muted pink. This one's called Cotton Candy. And a little bit of white. When we get done, we're going to do that paper over here that with leftover paint. But like if you get too much paint on your brush from something, you can offload it onto that piece of paper, which I forgot about because I was talking. And I'm going to... Now, if you want to smooth this out, you know to use your flat brush. Just go back and smooth it out with the big brush if you don't want all those strokes like that. You know, a flatter brush. I'm just using a straight pink. I'm not adding no white or nothing. Let's see. I am using the Ocean Blue Sim. I know, when you got the babies, oh, I babysat mine when they were little, and I loved every minute of it, but I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I did it. I mean, I had a full-time job, and a husband who had to stop driving at night. He had to drive for night for years. His eyes were so bad. He could see during the day, but they took his license away from him when he was at the DMV. I mean, we already knew he was having problems, but so between that, I think one of them was still in college, if I remember right. I think my youngest one was. I had her later. And then I had them babies. And then she got divorced. So, you know, lived with me. She lived on her own. She had a cute little apartment. But, oh, my God. One day I went up there to pick the kids up. Here she is. It was snowing and blowing. And here she's got this baby in her arms. And I just... I said, you move back in with me, please. Move back. My heart was like, oh, I couldn't do it. I said, you can't. You got to come home. She did. It was so much easier for her. And she was a nurse, worked ungodly hours. Here I am, all kinds of hours picking those babies up. I said, it's just so much easier. She had a lease. I called a lawyer, got her out of it. You know, all else fails, call a lawyer. Poor thing. Oh, my God. Raising babies is bad, but raising by yourself is even worse. Oh, I couldn't imagine. I never had to do it. Well, my husband was in the Navy. But, you know, you get a lot of support, you know, when your husband's in the military. Now, I'm going to make his nose kind of pinkish. I got this like, pink, this carousel pink and some white. My brush is drying out, so I'm just going to use a tad of water, kind of dab it. Put in that paint so it's all... Sometimes in this house is so dry. This heat is on constantly. I got my new utility bill. Oh, it went up a lot. Well, they said New York State's, we have National Grid, and they said it was going up. I said, oh, my God. You know, I've had worse bills when I had the kids home, but it was pretty close. This weather, ugh. Who needs to eat, right? Alright. There you go. So now I got little white eyebrows on there. He's looking cute, right? I think I'm gonna let's add a little bit of that blue to the white. Because you know a lot of if you were painting the real stuff, there'd be a little bit of blue in the white, like in snow. Or there'd be like a violet. So I can kind of come in and do some of these highlights with a little... I got a dirty brush, but that's okay. That actually works. Then come in here and kind of put in some little... I mean, you could do black too, but I'm going to do this. Kind of keep it on the pastel side here. That looks good, right? Now, what color should I do the boots? Should I do the boots green too? Let's do his hands in that color. this looks good. I think I might do the boots green. I'm thinking. I think so. I think I might. And let's just kind of fix this up right here. So we got to make some flowers like there. We're going to outline a lot of this too. There's a little heart up there too. I'm just going to mix a couple of these pinks together. Do this heart right here too. Almost forgot about them. There you go. Gotta do this. Gonna have to do that like in a black or something, or blue maybe. I think I am gonna do those boots in green. Heck with it. I don't know. I just wanna. He just is styling and profiling. All right. Same thing. I'm just putting it on. Trying to avoid that little black line because I want to do some. I'm going to do some highlights with some white and different. I got like a green and blue. I got out Posca pens. And I can go around everything, outline, and I might be able to pick up some of the sponging that I did. You can do that with a small brush. These Deco Art brushes are nice too. They just had a big sale. It ended last week. You guys, so listen to me when they have a sale. Did I get deals? Oh, I mean, I get the discount, but when they give me the discount, they like crazy. You get free shipping. Well, I didn't get free shipping. I think I'd rather have the free shipping. We used to get 2 deals a month. We can only get 1 now. I changed it, but they had some good deals. They had 60 and 70% off paints. I got those. I told you those stick paints, the texture paint. Really good deal. I got a bunch of it. Ain't too often I find good deals on the thick stuff. Not too often. All right, that looks kind of cute with the green, I think. I think it needs a little design on a hat or something. So I'm going to take this blue, little white, and I'm kind of going to, oh, I think I need a bigger brush. I'm going to kind of see if I can dry brush around the edges. I'm going to take my brush and rough it up a little bit, dry it out. Oops. What's going on here? Hold on, guys. Close battery. Had a full battery not too long ago. You guys know that I have to plug this in. I forget sometimes. Doing these videos uses a lot of juice. And what'll happen is, it doesn't happen so much now that I do the iPad too. It'll like if that comes on, you just lose sound. That's all. Just not the picture. Oh yeah. Mine were, hers were 15, 16 months apart. I call those Irish twins. My mother had 6 of them like that. Poor woman, she about died when she had the 6th one. But she had 4 more, so. But, yeah, we are. I put in the features section, Cindy, at the top. You'll see that I put a list of what we're doing every month. So you can pick a month you don't want to do. Say you don't want to do gnomes, or you don't want to do, it's up there. You have to look at it. I haven't got it right here. I gave you guys one. I haven't downloaded one for myself yet. But you'll see what we're doing. It's the same deal. At the end of the month, whoever sends me one for that month, you can send anything you want, really. But if it's you're going to do the theme every month, to be it gnomes or hearts or whatever, then at the end of the month I pick a winner. But anybody that sends me a card, I send it back. At the end of the month, I pick winners. But it has to be that theme, and you have to post it in the group. You know, but I put that, I also put it in the chats, Cindy. In the chat where we go to do our ATCs, it's in that group too. So just so you know that. Yeah, we're still doing that. And then I have the monthly challenge. Yeah, we have the monthly challenges in there too, which we do with a regular group of people who don't want to do ATCs, or they don't have time or whatever. That is going to be hearts next month. This month is snowman, and I'm going to be pulling those next Saturday for the winners for that. And I don't know. My kids buy me. I have a lot of gnomes. I have St. Patty's Day's gnomes up there. I was going to throw them out. It's like, I didn't throw my gnomes out. I gave away a lot of stuff, but I kept all my gnomes. All right, so let me turn this around. God, this is gnomes too. I need some Valentine's Day gnomes. All right, so now what was I going to do? Okay, so I dry brush this. Oh, crap, I made a mess. Hold on. Where'd my towel go? I got a towel. So I'm going to dry out this brush. Then I'm going to dry brush. I'm going to get some of that blue and white again. And I'm going to offload so that, you know, you can see where the bristles come apart. And then I'm going to kind of come around the edges, get a little bit closer than I was. I picked up some little paint. Get a little closer here and there. Not very, can leave it stippled looking, but I just want a little bit more here and there. Yeah, my poor daughter, the one that has the farm, I told you, she has been hammered up there. She's a nurse, so, you know, she works in the hospital up there, so, you know, she hates staying the night, but sometimes they get mandated. You ain't got a choice, you know. So she always makes plans just in case, you know. Her best friend up there died. She's a RN, and I didn't know it, but I guess she had a drinking problem. I did know that. And a heart problem. And they found her dead in the bed, so she's kind of been like in not a good mood. So yeah. And then, you know, with the snow. A lot of snow. Oh my God. I think they got, I want to say 4 foot. There was an area that got 5 foot like a week and a half ago. Well, that snow ain't gone anywhere. In the meantime, they had this gigantic tree fall down. I mean, that tree is old. Luckily, it missed everything. It missed the power pole. It missed the barn. It missed the silo. It missed everything. Missed all the cars. You know, she's got tractors out there and stuff. She got lucky. But it's in the middle of the yard. You can't even see it. There's so much snow it covered it. And this tree is massive. I just can't believe how... She's showing me pictures like, oh my God, Jennifer. So we haven't had a winter like this in a long time. But they are really... They're just... She's got to have 7 foot, maybe, over the last 2 weeks, maybe more. One area got over 5.5 foot like 2 weeks ago, and they got hit again last night, so I haven't looked yet, but I'm sure they got... I'm just kind of fixing this up where I want to. Dry brushing it on. Snow here has always been like that, but boy, we're getting hammered this year. All right, so I'm gonna... Some of this is dry, so before I color those hearts in, I'm gonna get these Posca pens out. They're white, pink, and a green. I had a blue. Where's my blue? Here it is. I gotta wait for it to dry. You know, you gotta let your Posca pens gotta go on a dry canvas. So let's take this pink. I'm gonna go around this heart first. I'm gonna go around his hands. Around his nose with the pink. Let's take the green. These were all pretty. I didn't have to shake them. They were from yesterday, so they're pretty ready to go here. All right. Oh, gotta do a hat. So all I've been doing is eating and cooking. I told you I'm making a big batch of fajitas when I get done here. I've been on my computer all day doing stuff for you guys, for your classes, and making gnomes this morning, and doing paperwork, and making plans for my classes. I finally got a hold of that company and got into my email. So I sent out, I don't know who's on my email. If you guys might, if you're on my email list, if you're not, inbox me and give me your email, because I just sent out a bunch of emails for to tell them about the can't get it out of my mouth. To tell them about I'm doing the wine fest. So I sent that out. I got it all figured out, and you know, they have this new thing that they're doing. I mean, I complained about AI, but oh my God, that's the fastest I ever got through, and they take forever to do. That's why it's like, you're supposed to do them every week, and I've decided that twice a month is enough, if I even do that, and they are just a pain. Well, with this new AI, I go, just give me an idea. Okay, this is my name. This is what I want you to tell my people. They know what I do because I have a lot of stuff on there. They can figure I have 4 years worth of stuff. And I got, like, you know, I have a little over 500 emails now. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's quite a bit. And and it just will write it out for me if I don't like it. I can change parts. So much easier, because, you know, I don't even talk right, let alone write right. You know what I mean? Can't say words. I have to go spell check. I'm a pretty good speller, but I can't say them. So anyways, good thing I don't have to talk on it. So anyways, it did, email came out really good. So if you're not on my email list, because I'm also going to do, I got to talk to them Monday. I want to put, like, not this one, but I got a couple nice tracers that I had done for the other group. And in exchange for the email, for their email, I send it out all over. Like, I got a bunch of those from the wine fest, a bunch of names for the last 2 years. So I'm going to put these tracers in there to get more emails and names and build more people. So I'm not this one, but I'm going to have a bunch of ones in there. And the only way you're going to be able to get that is if you download off the email. So just to tell you, if I haven't got your email, inbox me, just like you put your address in to do the ATCs, and just give me your email, or whoever you have. You can give me your sisters, your brothers, whoever, just so that you can get some more free stuff. All right, so let me turn this around. So yeah, I hadn't done any in, like, it's been like 5-6 months. My life was so just crazy. I need to calm down for a while. I had too much happen this year. Needed to heal. Need to heal, right? All right, so let's see. Should I outline his? Let me outline this too in the blue. Kind of makes it look a little better too, right, when you outline it, I think. I think I'm just going to color some of these hearts right in too with the pink. These are so fun. So now it's multimedia because you've done stenciling and paint and these pens, which really technically are acrylic also. Maybe we'll do a little blue one here. Maybe we'll do this one, a blue one. You're doing it in a different place now, that wine fest. Oh my God, I hope I didn't get myself into trouble. That place they're doing it at, that guy likes money. It is gigantic. We were packed last year, so I'm hoping, I got one person helping me. They're gonna pay him. I'm hoping that's enough. I don't know. I don't know. Luckily, it's one day. Just pack up the night before and get ready, and I take my stuff. They do a lot of this. They supply a lot of the stuff too, which is awesome. So I give them a list of what we need, and they do it. Cuts down on my cost. And then just show up, and oh my God, you don't stop the whole day. Get there early, set up, and then you tear it down. By the time I got to tear it down, oh my God, I was hurt, puppy. So I've been doing some exercises. All right, I think I'll put more of that pink, other pink right here too. Let me do this. No, maybe not. Let's get a different pink. Maybe a different pink. He's cute. He's a cutie pie. Yeah, let's do the same pink right here. Yeah, kind of cute, right? We could write something in that dark blue ones, right? I think so. Something. Could we write? I don't know. Let me think. I got a thinner white marker here somewhere. I just seen it. These pens come in different sizes. So you could put I love you. Wait for that to dry, put something. You could even put little, maybe put some little designs on this too, and do some little polka dots. Do the pink. Do little dots in here too. Yeah, so I got this gnome hat that I'm doing, and you guys can like, I'm going to put the tracer in there for next month. And you guys can, whoever does the best decoration on the hat wins prize. It's wicked cute. I'm going to make it bigger though. All right. A couple little highlights here and there. Maybe I'll do a little more blue on this, maybe. Well, he's cute. Put the blue around it. I think he's done. Put that pink drop, put something in that one too. I don't know what. Isn't it cute? Now he's got his girlfriend, my girlfriend here. She's got a boyfriend now. We're also going to be, I have all these ideas. We're also going to be, you guys remember last year when I did the stained glass gnomes? I did it in the other group, in my paid membership. Well, I'm going to do a paid group for that too. I have the stuff to do the outlines with. I'll give you the list. It's just watercolors, but you can use acrylic paint with water. And you got to have the stuff to outline with so don't pull over. You're going to have that lined and ready. I'm going to do a one afternoon class, but you're going to need to do it in 2 parts. Because the first part, this stuff has to dry. This gold stuff. It's thick. You got a special pen you got to buy. It's an acrylic pen. Well, it's acrylic, but it's a pen. And then after that's dry, I'll show you how you drip in the watercolors. You get that. It's so beautiful. I think a couple of you, I gave you them for Christmas. A couple of you guys, huh? I think my membership guys got them. I don't know if I got here to show, but we're going to be doing them too. That'll be a special class. And the Van Gogh class will be another painting class. Then I told you we're doing all those, like, the other things. So now he's got a girlfriend. Or boyfriend. So. All right, guys. So that's it for today. And like I said, next week I'm going to, oh, wait a minute. We're going to offload some of that paint instead of wasting it. This over here. I got me some copy paper. And I got this one. I'm not going to use it. So you can either A, do some on this side or do it on the other side. So I'm going to just start using my leftover paint and making me some more multimedia paint here. I'm going to outload this brush. No, I could paint something else, but I don't plan on it today. So whatever you got, you can make printing with. I've got my heart, my butterflies. I can make circles with my tape. I got these little things. Whatever you got that you can make little designs with. Where my bubble wrap went. Whatever you got. Wait a minute, I got stuff in here. I got notes in here. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of that paper I gave you guys. Oh. I had a scraper in here too. I was going to show you how if you got like a kitchen scraper that you use, or any kind of like credit card, anything like that, you can use that too. Whatever you got that you can scrape the extra paint off on. You can use your brush. Got a couple of big brushes. Let's see what I got here. Here's one I just used. You're just looking to offload that extra paint. And just empty your brush out, empty the paint off. Some green. Okay, this is oh, I gotta show you. Hey Mary, how you doing? Love them. Everybody loves gnomes. I could do gnomes a lot, so I can do gnomes. So right now I'm just offloading leftover paint. This is from Lowe's. I'm not doing the house this color, but I have the ones I'm going to do. This is one of the extra ones. These things come. These are great for ATCs too, and for different stuff. So I'm going to take some of it. I'm going to smudge that on. I'm picking up blue and green. It's great for making little corners. This is just a way to make yourself some paper. You don't have to worry about having a jelly plate. Yourself some prints that you want to use. I did, oh, it's in the bathroom. I have to show you guys. I did a gnome last year, and I made his hat out of this paper. And I put like Mod Podge over the hat. It came out so good. Everybody wants to know where I got the gnome. Well, my daughter's friend made her the gnome, me and her. I don't cut out wood, and it came out really cute, but she didn't like do any design on it. Of course, you know me, I gotta be extra, you know. So I got some green and blue and yellow. See what I'm doing? I'm making myself some paper that I can design with. We'll probably cut these up into small little papers for my, and I'm getting rid of my paint instead of wasting it. If you let it dry, a couple of years ago, I left, when I was doing my glass, this palette, I took the bottom of the palette, all of it was on here, and I cut it off. I did ornaments with it and earrings. So you can use that paint, don't waste it. So now, you got a couple of pieces of paper that you can use for multimedia. Or you can put it on a card, be a birthday card or something. So I got all these different things I can, this is a knob. And I'm going to poke that into the blue here, offload a little bit, and I can do little circles. I love this. I'm going to do a painting with all this. Do you ever see the ones that do, like, they'll do these? With all the, anything you could think of. The lady used a Krog, did the print on the bottom. She used her grandson's, like, train, did the wheels, you know, a little truck. Anything you could think of. Then she'll, like, incorporate, like, a lion or something. I think I can do that. So, I got to get back to my own painting here pretty soon. I think I might take a week off to do my painting. What do you guys think about me taking a vacation to paint? I'll videotape some of it. I've thought about that. Just to concentrate on my stuff. So there's that. And then you could do some circles. I need more paint in there. I'm a mess. Yeah. So now there's a couple pieces, right? Isn't that cool? Look, don't go buy nothing. If you got paint and you got copy paper, you don't need nothing else. All you need to do is, you can even do like the top of your, these bottles work great. You could do like we did, just sponge the whole sheet. I got lots of other stuff here, but for some reason, I'm not finding stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I got this thing too. It's a lid from something. It broke off. I think like it's kind of spice jar or something. I got a rock. Oh, that's like it. I have kinds of stuff, but I don't know where they are right now. I have one box over here if I can find it. Full of those scrapers. You could use sponges. Well, it's way over there. I can't reach it. Anything you got. All right. So let's put on some more of that paint here with this thing. Ooh, it's getting rainbow look. I like that look. You could also do your Posca pens if you want to mix it up a little bit. You could do some watercolor pens, whatever you got. Just using up my paint. I like doing the squares. I don't know. I just do. Probably ADH brain or something, right? I have to organize. But the house could be falling down around me, but my paperwork is organized in my art. Weird. Weird. All right. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of that blue too. I got this circle thing, so we're going to try putting some different colors on it. Oh. I didn't get all of it. I got my thumb in it. My DNA's on here now. You can overlap them. Make them look bubbly, right? Ooh, that's working for me. I'm liking this. I don't know what I got this off of. Sometimes I just find things, I throw them in here. Other times I think about it. So I know I got this for a reason, and I'd ask me what right now, I couldn't tell you. It's looking kind of cool, huh? Using that leftover paint too. That makes me happy. What else can I put on there? Do a few butterflies. Let's do them in blue. I'm gonna have to wash this. This is gonna be perfect. Now you could take some pens. You could make, I don't know, little dots. Could do some little swirls. Let's do the blue. Little swirls. So now you got yourself some multimedia paper. I want some green in there too. Let me get a little more green in there. Need a little more green here and there. I just want green in there. Now you get yourself another piece of paper. Pretty, huh? You gotta dry. Yeah, big old mess over here. Dry. So then I got this piece here. And I'm thinking I'm going to try to see what happens if I do some of those colors over the top of this. This was a print that we did. We did this in the fall, you guys, if you remember. Be brave. Probably cut this up, but maybe not. You never know. But I probably will. You could use these in a journal. Really using up this paint now. I got a lot of it's gone. First time I've done this, so it's new for me too. You're late, Lori? You're not late. Probably don't start till you get here. It's a joke. Hey, Heather. I'm just using up leftover paint for my project today, just showing them the things you can do to make yourself a little ephemera paper or whatever, so you could use it at a later date. Just let them dry and then cut them up. And I put them in a nice little pile, and when I want to make a card or add it to my artwork, I got it. And I'm not wasting paint. That's looking kind of psychedelic there, kind of liking that. I like that. Okay, I want pink. I use up most of my paint here, so I might just get some pink out though, because I want some more pink in here. Be brave. Right, and I got that. Where's that circle thing again? That thing was fun. Oh, did I drop it? Oh, wait a minute. I put it over here somewhere. I got it. This thing was fun. I think I'm going to get that hot pink out again. I got just about all the pink on off this thing here. So I'm pretty happy about that. You could put sparkles on too. Or maybe a little gold paint. Kind of. And later, you know, when you're doing it with whatever, you can still put stuff over the top of it. Like, you know, those little stickers I got up in the guide section, guys. There's all kinds of, like, little, you know, ephemera. There's all kinds of inspirational stuff. I just moved a bunch. It took me like 2 hours, guys, to move up the old videos into the guide section. And I moved all the templates up in there, the tracers. I should do them every month, but I never get to it. There's a little more pink in here. The pink kind of looks good with that blue in the background. What do you think? I think so. Looking very psychedelic here. I'm drifting again, ain't I? Over here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm drifting. Sorry. I do this all the time. There you go. So that guy gives it kind of a cool look, don't it? This would be great paper to use on something. I think like it now, it needs some white after I covered all that white up, right? I think, oh, look, I did this pen. Oh, dumped it right into the white. Well, that's been christened pretty good. Did a job on that. Let me just take this, I think it's the only color I didn't use a lot of. I'm trying to get some white in here. It's like being in kindergarten when you do this. This is so good. When I teach, well, when I took classes in, you know, relaxing, this is something that they teach to just play. This is where you come up with ideas too. You know, you let your mind, you don't think when you're doing this kind of stuff. I don't know if you ever noticed, but with art, a lot of times I don't think. I don't have to. When I do, I will, you know, when I'm doing something serious, but the best thing to do is to just, with ADHD especially, it does shut your mind off. It's like when you're reading or something. So this kind of stuff is good for when you're really stressed out. You would think just the opposite. All you need is paint and some paper. You don't even need a brush, really. You know, so you can do a lot of fun stuff. That came out pretty cool. So I got a lot of pink over here now. So let's, I'll do one more, and we're done. I got enough paper here yet. There's a little bit of blue left over here too. And let's do really good to just zone out once in a while, make a big old mess. My sister loves to paint too, and she's more serious than I am, unfortunately. Really, she's not, though. I shouldn't say that. But when she comes to her painting, she gets all like serious up in it. And she was complaining that she was getting everything, you know, she had to set it all up and take it all down. I said, oh no. That's what I teach in my class. Get yourself a place. Tell your kids to bug off. All those years of driving them around and making sure they had what they needed. Find a place, put your stuff in it, tell them don't touch it. Make a big old mess. You know, I got a big old rug underneath here. I got stuff on the walls and stuff. That way, like, I can make a mess. So, you know, nothing expensive. And I can just paint. I don't know how anybody can paint not make a mess. You see all these artists, they got like beautiful studios. They set that up, guys. I take classes. That's all a big setup. It's all staged. It's better when the shop is clean, though, because I'll tell you something. It's not really a shop. This is a bedroom. I can concentrate better. Like, oh, what am I doing with my thumb? What's on my thumb? Are they cool, though? It's getting into the peach paint over here. So, you know, find your place. Make a spot. I don't care if it's... My first spot was on my lap. I got a picture when I first started painting. My daughter's 46, and she was like just walking, maybe 3 years old, sitting next to me. So I've been painting a while. And then later I had like, I used to do the same thing. I carried around me. I'm going to get me a little liner brush. I would carry it around with me, you know, from room to room. I had a little case. And then later, I finally had a big enough house. And it started out as one bedroom. And then the daughter that had went to college had moved back in. I had the dining room first. I'll take that back. So this, I learned fast that this was very relaxing. I always had a small easel on the table. I always had something going. The kids say, oh, what are you doing now, Mom? And I kept it there, and it was my spot. And then the paintings got bigger, and I got more stuff, and it got a little out of hand. So now I had a room. My daughter painted it pink. It was the perfect color for me because it's my favorite color, at least currently. All right, so this got like an interesting look, right? I'm trying to use up what's here before I kind of just use up some of this. Get it all used up. I'll probably throw that away. So now I got 4 pieces of paint or paper that I can mess with. I'm gonna dry this out too. I'll dry it out right here. I'm gonna have to wash these 2 out. I can take them in the other room, wash that out. Where's that brush? A little sponge. You just do around you take your palette knife too, go around do stuff too. If you want to experiment with your palette knife, this is a good time. I go around the edges here. I'm gonna use up the rest of this pink. A little blue on here. The pink and the blue make a nice purple. Yeah. So that's fun, huh? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll probably cut these up either into probably 8 pieces. That's big enough for HEC. I'll probably leave a couple larger because then if I want to put them in, you guys have probably never seen some of my work up close, but I am famous for putting paper in it. And I paint over it a lot of times. That's why you can't see it. Especially with palette knife, you can do that. So now I got all this really cool paper. Yeah, I mean, it sounds stupid, but it's so much easier than putting it all on the table and then taking it all off and cleaning everything every single time. I leave my water here a lot, and it's not good for my brushes, but a lot of times I'll have 2 buckets going, one a little cleaner than the other, and then I just pour into one. Just makes my life easier, and then I'm not walking through the house with buckets of water, you know. And then I have a spray bottle, you know, and I keep my paint wet, or, you know, I can actually clean a brush with it. And same thing if I have accent with anything on the table, I can get my alcohol, and I also use this to clean my brushes. And I keep chalk. I got a little piece of chalk here. When I do a background and I want to put a shape in, or put that in my dry. Got my piece of chalk, so I haven't got to go looking for things. And I got my brushes all in my buckets, different buckets I made. I just recently did this for all my glasses. I made this little can, really cute little can. And you know, and another thing is making it creative. If your area is a little creative, I got all kinds of creative stuff around me. At least for me, I find that when I have creative things around me, I feel more creative. Hey, Barb, you know, if I have pretty things on the wall, I'm going to make this into a bigger one. It's another IRSAT folder. Some of the paintings I've done. Here's these little things. I have my yoga chair exercises right here. I have all this pretty stuff around me. And, you know, I have my candles I burn sometimes when I'm doing a class. And it just makes me feel more creative. So if you got a little area, you could put little things that you love around too. It just makes you feel more creative. It's in a prettier colored room too. That helps. You know, I mean, my house is all white right now and I hate it. I hate it. So I did the one big wall with that drape. But in the spring, I picked up my colors. We're going to paint a few walls. I need some color. I think you look better when you have a little color. It's good for your skin. But anyways, I teach that. That's the way you're supposed to do it. Have a little creativity around you. So I got these little pieces of material that I bought, and I put them underneath my glass here, just so it looks prettier, you know. I see some people paint on. I can't I gotta have pretty stuff. I just feel better. All right, guys, so that's it for tonight. Hey, that's a piece of ephemera. It's unfortunately it's that palette paper, so I'm gonna throw it away. I've got like 3 pieces there. But if you guys ever see this stuff, you can get it pretty cheap. I got this half off. It was like $2, and I use like 2 pieces per time, so that'll give me. Well, how many is in here? I figured it out one day. I think there's like 50, so I'll get 100 uses out of that. But you have to have it. But when I'm trying to be quick, it comes in handy. Oh, for oil paint too. I gotta start oil painting again. So that's it for tonight. Like I said, I'll see you guys next Saturday in this group. And I'm going to start doing Tuesdays here real soon. I'm going to be advertising that. If you ain't got your email, make sure you send your email to my thing. Because if you guys want to pick up, I'm going to be putting stuff in there you can get free tracers with. Into the email. I do like this, the way that it's automated, it's called. Automation. Email automation. Which I used to know how to do and I can't figure it out. So I'm going to call them Monday. Hopefully I can get through. And I got it set up. I know what I'm doing. I'm actually going to do, I did this in my paid group last year, but this is also going to be, you'll be able to get this tracer for this. But if I can get your email, you won't be able to get it. So anyways, what else? I think that's it for today. And like I said, I'll see you next week. And I'm going to start doing classes on Tuesday here pretty soon. In a few weeks, starts to warm up. And I'm going to be doing like the little more fancier stuff I was doing at night. I'm going to do it because I will be more awake. I think like 1 or 2 on a Tuesday. And then it'll still have the Thursdays and Fridays. I was originally Wednesday and Thursday, but I kind of need that break in between, so I might leave it like that. And we'll still be on Saturdays at 4 o'clock. So I'll see you guys later. Hope inspiration finds you wherever you go. Really, I do. And art does matter. So if you can, get his book. And make art, guys. Make lots and lots of great art. I'll see you later. Thanks for visiting. Bye, guys.